welcome everyone to AvaTrade Live Q&A. My name is Daniel and I will be giving you this webinar today. What we're going to do first is we will explain what will happen in the webinar in each and every step. To begin with, we are going to review some questions that we've received from previous webinars and from other webinars and so on. Okay, that will look like that. And then we will have the dynamic questions. Guys, this is the purpose of this webinar. After all, we're giving you this webinar so you'll be able to ask the questions live and to enjoy the answers live, okay, on the chart. So there is no need in the concept of this webinar, there is no need to raise your hand. You simply put down the question and I will give it its attention. Which I'll paste here, okay? And then on the third part, then links, information, and webinar privileges, which is this layer over here. And then lastly, analysis, okay? This is, guys, only if we will not cover analysis along the way. Okay, if we'll do so it would make sense not to waste time on analysis and answer other questions instead. Okay, so and that's very important to know that any capital markets and trading information disclosed in this webinar is provided for informative purposes only. It should not be constructed or applied as an investment advice, a recommendation, or a suggestion. Okay, if somebody needs to leave in the middle of the webinar, that's okay, because the webinar is recorded and it will be uploaded to YouTube in the next usually 48 hours. Okay, so I will make sure that the webinar is recorded as it's supposed to be, and then with God's help, we are going to start. I'll be right back. Thank you very much. Okay, everything seems in place, so that means that we are ready to start. We will start with, like I said, with the common questions that we have received. Okay. All right, so the first question, this is, I think, exactly as we had, never mind. How much money I need to trade 0.01 with gold? Okay, that's I guess that this question is referring to the lot size, which stands for 1 unit with gold. Okay. How long does it take to make a trading plan? Okay. Okay, what is the recommended amount to begin with? Okay, how can I do fundamental analysis? Okay, how can I get a senior account manager? This is again a question that is very easy to answer. Let's begin with the first. Get ourselves a nice notepad over here, and then we can begin. Okay, just a second. Just a second. How is it now? Okay, that should work. And it looks nice. Okay, so guys, before I'll begin, I'm just going to introduce you to what we're looking at, which is called the web trader. Guys, to get to the web trader, what you must do is to log in with your email and password to our website, which means you must log in into avatrade.com, okay, with your email and password. I gotta say that for people who are using MT4 or MT5, the password is the same, okay? The password is universal for your account to log in with your email at the website and for the platforms MT4 and MT5. Okay, so when you're looking at this interface, unfortunately, as you can see, there is almost nothing beside the chart that I can function with. Okay, there is the left side and there is the toolbar, but there is no much from the candles or so. In order to maximize this interface, I must take two steps. This is one, by clicking on the top arrow right, top right arrows. What did I say? Right here, top right arrows, I click on the arrows, then it folds it down, and then I have a toggle which I can play with up and down up to a certain limit, as you can see. Okay, up to a certain limit. And the second thing that I must do to get information from the candles is to change my crosshair. from no crosshair to a regular crosshair, and then I'll have the numbers. Okay, the third step is sell or buy. So those are two steps to be able to fully to have access to all of that. Okay, otherwise this is all I'm gonna see. So I must fold that down, then I have the toggle here, and then I can change the crosshair to be able to examine the candles if I want. And the third step is obviously to bring on the right side this menu here. Okay, I don't know if to call it a menu, but this is where you put your specifications, and you can see here the load size, which we just, what was the question, 0.01. Okay, and then I can bring it back. So look how simple that was, right? I'm gonna click here, then click here, changing the crosshair, and then sell or buy. This could be the first. It doesn't really matter. The order of things, it doesn't really matter. Then I can bring it back. The question was about gold. Therefore, let's search gold. Put it in the search field. I click it from the list. It hasn't changed over here. So I must again click sell or buy to make it appear. Okay, how much money? I think it should be this way. Do I need, right, to trade 0.01. So guys, 0.01 equals 1 unit. Okay, just on a nutshell of how it works, lot size mean lot is measuring unit. Okay, and what that means is simply that one lot could be 1 to 10. Sorry, that shouldn't be this way. Actually, you know what, let me, because it looks like the leverage a little bit, let's put it this way, it would make more sense. 1 to 10, 1 to 100, 1 to 1,000, 1 to 10,000, and 1 to 100,000. Okay, that's for currencies. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So when this scenario, okay, when this scenario is 1 to 100, which is the scenario that we are in at right now, I'm just going to place here one lot, shows 100 unit. When this scenario, so 0.01, I'm going to place it here in a second. That's, I cannot find EXU and USD. Just a second, guys. Okay, so that means that when it's 1 to 10, that's 10% of a unit. Okay, that's 0.01. When it's 1 to 100, so 0.01 is 1 unit, then it becomes 10 units, then it becomes 100 units. Okay, we're gonna maybe later on I will give you an example, but right now I don't want to waste any time. Okay, so that's how the lot size is functioning, guys. Okay, when it's 1 to 10, could be indices or something else. 1 to 100, pretty common, what we see here. This could be crude oil or something else. Okay, but why is that important? Danny, the question was, how much money do I need to trade with gold? Why are you telling us the story about what the lot size is and how do we know the units? Who knows why I'm explaining you that, guys? Why must I know the lot size of my asset? Why does it make any difference if I take 0.1 or 0.01? Okay, so when we are looking at the lot size of 1 to 100, the value is going to be easy to measure because I'm going to look at the price, 1928.3. I'm going to multiply that by 1 unit because look at what we said. If one lot equals 100, so that means the 0.01 is equals 1. That makes it easy for me because the value is exactly as my price. Okay, but and then I can see that with the leverage, how do I all of a sudden have leverage? I never asked for leverage. Why do I have leverage? Because the leverage is by default. Since we are trading CFDs, right? Contract for difference. So the leverage is by default. And what the leverage does is it lets you buy or sell more, okay, with the same balance. It's just a multiplier, right? Okay, and because I multiplied by 20, I can basically divide that figure by 20, which is represented here, which is the margin impact. Margin impact, also known as margin requirement. Just a second, margin requirement. Yeah, which is 96.49. Okay, so this is that clear though? Did everybody understood what I'm doing here? Is that too complicated? Maybe I went a bit too fast. Is that understood what I'm just showing you now? Yes, absolutely. Felix, you're asking if this will work with any other asset. The answer is absolutely yes. This is why I'm showing you that. It's not particularly with gold. I think last week we had it with Nasdaq. Whatever I'm teaching, usually whatever I'm teaching is universal. So you can take what I'm doing here. Any other asset will work the same way. The only difference is, and this is why I'm showing you the lot size, is that the lot size could be different. You know what? Let's try and compare that with oil, okay? And then we'll see the difference here. Okay, so let's suppose that we want to take 0.01 with oil, okay? Oil, crude oil. Okay, let's see if it will work the same way. So we have the value, the leverage here, and this is no longer necessary. It's already written above. Okay. Now, because the lot size here is 1,000, and what I wrote, oops, what did I do? And what I wrote is that when the lot size is 1,000, so 0.01, where did I put it? Equals 10, right? Because it equals, can I bold it? No, it doesn't work. Equals 10, so I must multiply that by 10. Even though that's 0, but look. Oh, sorry, let me change that. Okay, you see that this is 10, so that means that the price has to be multiplied by 10. Okay, that's not that. That's the price. Okay, that means that this is, look, that's going to change, multiply by 10, so I have to do that, right? Oh, sorry. What did I do? Right, I have to multiply the whole thing. Let's do it with a calculator, even though I'm doing it in my head still. This is a webinar. Okay, 70.91. Yeah, so with 10 units, okay, 0.01, it's not 70, yeah, that's not 1, that's 10, so I have to multiply that by 10. Still, it's not even half of what gold is. Okay, let's see. Now the leverage is 1 to 10, so we're doing the same process. We took 0.01, we multiply that by 10 units. Now we're comparing the leverage. So the leverage is 1 to 10, not 1 to 20. This is why my value has to be multiplied by 10, not by 20. Actually, that brings us to the exact same amount. Well, almost the same amount, but never mind. Okay, let's make it a little more challenging. Let's make it 50. Yeah. That's much more educational. So that means we're going to multiply that by 50. Is it 71 yet? Yeah, that's just a little easier to comprehend. Let's make it 71. And then 71 multiply 50. Right? Yeah, divided by 10, that brings us that. So guys, the lesson here is that 0.01 not always 1 unit, okay? And not always the value that I see is what I truly need. I need less because I am multiplied and I am leveraged. Okay, this way I can, if I manage my funds based on what exposure I'm using, if the position is not too big, how much margin I'm diversing with. This is basics. Okay, guys, this is pure basics. If I don't know that, this will be very challenging. Okay, I must know how to read the lot size and to understand the units and so on. Okay, so how much money do I need? I'm just gonna put here value divided by leverage equals margin requirement, right? Oops. Requirement, the necessary amount, right? How much money do I need? Okay. Okay. How long does it take to make a trading plan? That's a question that I would like to revert back to you guys. How long does it take to make a trading plan? Who knows? First of all, let's understand what a trading plan is, right? We're not going to know how long if we don't know what that is. So what is a trading plan? Who knows? To plan your movements. Okay, thank you, Michelle. What does that mean to plan your movements? Which movements and which plan? Why must I plan? I thought the original idea is I'm buying when it's low, right? Then I make profits. Why do I need to make a plan? And I don't know, all of that. Sounds like a lot of work, a lot of energy. What do you think? Okay, because without the plan you can lose. Okay, thank you, George, but let me tell you something. Even with the plan, I can lose still. So what does that make a difference if I have a plan or I don't have a plan? If I lose anyway. So why must I have a plan? Who knows, guys? Who knows? Come on, give me one good reason why I need a plan. Because this is your money. Okay, okay, okay. Look, a trading plan is not mandatory. I'm gonna go ahead and say a trading plan is not mandatory. There are people that succeed with the plan. But let's suppose that I go with the most primitive way of trading. I'm just looking here at this candle. I think I compare the price from the past just on a nutshell about analysis. Those are candlesticks. Each candle is representing the time frame written here by the search field, right? If I go to the right, I begin looking at the toolbar. So I'm gonna find here some time frames from minutes through hours, days, weeks, and months. And if I compare the price that we are at right now, okay, again, this is why I said that in the first moments that you're looking at the screen, it's gonna look like that. Okay, and I'm not gonna get any information unless I change my crosshair. Okay, Make no mistake, I must change the Corsair. Okay, if I'm looking at here, this is April. Okay, April, that means that it's been some time since it's been on that price. So I can call it that right now is low. Okay, let's say that it's low for the sake of the discussion. Okay, so that means if it's low, I can take a buy. I click here, buy. Great. I hope that it will go up. Okay, if it goes up, I'm gonna make profits. And then I can close it and make profits. That's the best case scenario. If it goes down, I'm gonna have losses. Okay, let's suppose that it went up here, okay, to 75. I haven't closed it. Okay, then in few weeks it gotten back to here. What happened then? Here I've made profits. Okay, when it was on that area, I had profits, but without the plan, I don't know when to stop my positions. So if I have a goal, if I have a number, if I have some guidelines, I know what I'm gonna do if something happens. Okay, so a plan can look very much like that. A goal, okay, I must have some goals. I must aim for a certain return. We call it ROI. Okay, who knows what ROI is? Who knows what ROI is, guys? Come on, there must be somebody from finance. ROI, let me give you a hint. Return on. Okay, who can give me the solution? Investment. Thank you, Josh. Okay, return on investment, the ROI. Now, I have $10,000. Okay, let's suppose I'm expecting, thank you, Ali. I'm expecting, let's say I want to make 50% a month. You know what? Let's go on an adventure. I want to make 70% a month. Okay, 70% a month means without accumulation. We're going to drop the accumulation. It could be more, but we're not adding the exponential growth. Okay, we'll just measure it as it is. Okay, if I make 70% a month, how much do I make? 7,000. 7,000 multiplied 12. Okay, is that a realistic goal? Should I go for that, guys, or it's too much, or it's too little? What do you think? Yeah. Let's see, there is a question by Mohammed Rafiq. Mohammed, you can definitely see the previous webinar on our channel on YouTube if you just search AvaTrade live Q&A webinar. Okay, so how did I get, okay, so how long does it take? First, we must understand what a plan is, and then I can answer. Because to be honest, the answer for this question could be, I don't know, minutes, 2 days. How long, or years? How long does it take to make a plan? Who knows? Maybe I can make a plan in a minute. But let me try and maybe summarize, maybe a few weeks. I don't really know. I don't really know. It depends on many things. Could be weeks, I don't know, 1 week to months, maybe a week or more. I don't know. I really don't know those questions of how long. Okay, so let's suppose I have 10,000. I'm aiming for 70%. Okay, $7,000 a month. This could be just on a nutshell, with a very big scope overview. This could be some kind of a plan, maybe a beginning of a plan. What could be more specific is if I take the 7,000, okay, and I decide, okay, to diverse to 7 positions, $1,000 each. And then I start thinking, okay, if it's 7,000 a month, I need to average 7,000 by 4 weeks. So that makes it an average 1,750 per week, right? 4 weeks, okay. Then I can see maybe I should divide it uh, to fewer positions or maybe more positions. Okay, then I could say 7,000. If I need 1,750, I could say one position. Okay, two positions. One that will be $1,000. The other one, this is just as an example, guys. There is really no, it's not mandatory to do any of the things that I'm doing now. This is really on a nutshell. Really on a nutshell. The second one could hypothetically, okay, I just gotta say something. This plan, exactly like some people here wrote in the beginning, because I can lose without a plan. I can lose with the plan, and I will lose. But the key ingredient here is not how much I can lose, is how much I can make. So if I lose, I don't know, if I can make, if I need to make 7,000 a month, and I have made 10,000, and I have lost, I don't know, some 3,000. So I'm okay. I'm at the goal. It's not bad that I lost 3,000 because I have reached the number, right? Okay, and then I can follow my own guidelines to get to my targets. Okay, this is again, a trading plan is much more informative than that, but this is just guidelines. This is just guidelines to assist you with how to get there. Okay, inside each and every position, there are 4 ingredients. Okay, position is made. You need the time. Sorry, you need the goal first. Goal, so this is if it's 1,000 or 550, then you need the time. Then you need, okay, then you need that. Okay, there is, I'm not sure that we have the time to go through all of that, but all right. You can ask your senior account manager. Let's see if there is a question here. Yes, I had a feeling. So you can ask a senior account manager to assist you with the plan. Okay, guys, so how long does it take? I don't know, could be, that depends on how, okay, let me put it there. That would make more sense. This one should be smaller, I think. Make it a little easier for us. That depends on how complicated the plan is and how ever is making it, right? Okay, so that really, there is somebody who can make a plan in a day, somebody who needs 2 weeks. What is the recommended amount? Okay, so I think that could go along with what we've learned in the beginning. Okay, let's try. What is the recommended amount? Who can tell me? Let me give you some options. Okay, you guys tell me what do you think that is the best amount to begin with? Okay, because the question is referring to. Okay, what do you guys, what would you recommend? Sorry, the question is what is the recommended amount? Okay. What do you guys think that is the recommended amount? Let's suppose you have a friend, an associate who wants to trade, and what do you think that is the recommended amount to begin with? $1,000, $100, $1,000, $5,000? What do you think? What would you recommend your friend? because we spoke about the plan, right? We had here a question about the plan, and we've understood that we are aiming to make some return out of our investment. So if I put $100, how much? Let's see, there is a question here. A few basics, okay. I'm gonna let me see if I can recompose that question. Please help me understand when you can. Okay. Just a second. I'm just gonna take some part of your question. I mean, I do appreciate what you wrote, but we must adjust it to be educational. Oops. Let's see if it will work. Maybe I can do it this way. I'm sorry guys for the trouble. I'm not an expert with that. So I just hope that I'm doing the right thing. Yeah, it's not working. Okay, think we've got it. Basics. Understand when you can. Okay. Okay, let's see what the answers are. $100, $100, $1,000, $500. Okay. But none of you suggested a big amount. 10,000, 50,000. Okay. Now, the amount that I begin with depend on the ROI that I'm planning. Right? If I have $100 and I plan to make that, is that the recommended amount to begin with? Okay, or I might need more. What do you think? So, and if I put 1,000, is that enough? Maybe. What if I put $5,000 and I plan to make just $500? Is that okay? Is that realistic for me to expect, for me to make? Okay, Shahib, you're saying that this is much better. Thank you, Shahib. Why is that much better than trying and making $1 million with 100? Why is that better in comparison? Because in percentage, how much is $1 million out of 100? 10,000%, right? Let me just show you that. Hopefully I can. Right? So I need a lot of success to get there. But with 5,000 to make 500 is not really challenging. I mean, it could be challenging because trading is challenging overall, but it's more realistic than to make $1 million with 100. So the recommended amount to begin with is most definitely depend on the plan. Okay? So this kind of questions שלום חמוד, אני באמצע וובינר. תכף תחזור, טוב? Okay. So to understand what's happening here, the 5,000 to make 500 with is much more realistic. Okay, but still that depends on the plan. I'm gonna add something to the answer that, just a second, that it's not only depend on the plan. You should know that if I put 5,000, okay, let me just show you that. Let me just show you that. It will be much easier. Okay. So initially we analyzed gold and we saw that 0.01 requires almost $100, right? Thanks to the leverage. Okay. Now, if I put $100, is that a good amount to recommend? Is that a recommended amount to begin with? Maybe. But I should consider that if I want to trade gold with $100, it's going to occupy 96.3% of my margin. Okay, which doesn't leave me a lot of room to maneuver. Okay, because if I take that ounce, okay, and I keep the trade open. Let's suppose that I took a buy, okay, and God forbid it keeps on going down, maybe another $100 down, okay, maybe in here in a month. Let's see how long it could take, okay. Then I'm gonna wipe out my account. Furthermore, I cannot take another position with gold. I can't. Why? Because I can't even I can barely comply to that. So it's not only depends on the plan, that depends on what I'm planning to trade and the budget and the percentage that we are using. Okay. All right. Do we have any questions regarding that? Sorry, I nearly forgot. How can I do fundamental analysis? Okay, so fundamental analysis, right? So we have technical and fundamental analysis. Differences: analyzing from inside the chart, right? Okay, analyzing from outside the chart. Okay, now that means that I can get information from all kind of sources. So that means, just stayed here. That means that technical analysis, analyzing from inside the chart, that could mean averages, that could mean measurements, that could mean support and resistance and pivot point. Okay, well, I'll give you an example in a second. And you have other key ingredients. Now, I'm going to show you the lightning icon here, that if I click it, it's going to give me what I've put down for you a moment ago, right? Support and resistance, key levels, best scenario, sell scenario, okay, with a buy and sell. Okay, and how does that work? How does that work? So we're gonna, if I click here on the tiny arrow, it's gonna fall down the list, and I'm gonna grab the price line, and I'm gonna put the price line over here, 1803. I'm gonna take another price line, and I will place it approximately at 250. If I want to be precise, if I want to be on an exact figure, I can define it from its own coordinates. So I'm just going to click it, and when I click it, I'm going to change it here, click save, and then it's going to jump to where I want it. Okay, it's going to automatically jump. Okay, so that underneath is support, that will represent, if this would be our room that we're analyzing, there is also some prior data here in the okay, but it's less relevant. Okay, so if this is my room, this would be the floor, this would be the ceiling. Here sometimes it's already past that. This is, I think, the interest rate decision day and so on. Maybe we'll speak about it in a moment about fundamental analysis. So those, okay, let me also paste it here. Okay, those are my support and resistance. There are many more levels. That is an example. Also, also a support line. That also there is a difference here. I don't know if you can see that, but this is also a support line. This was a support line here, which it broke, right? That it doesn't let us see the price here. Never mind. That's a resistance. Also, okay, so every time it breaks, if it keeps going down and broke the previous support, it creates another support. So if it goes up again to, I don't know which price, I don't want to delete everything, but I don't think that I have a choice. Otherwise, you guys won't be able to see that. Let's suppose that it gets, let's suppose that it gets to here, okay, to 1950, to the white line, okay, to the white line, okay, and there's been a week. So that will be our new, that here, that the price here, it's going to be our new support. It's going to be our most recent support. Okay, if it goes up, so in order to break it, it already passed that level. In order to pass the next support line, that's much lower, right? 1870 something. So this is technical analysis. The way that it works is, as an example, I assume that it just broke the support with uncertainty. As you can see here, this is a firefly candle. That means small tail at the top and big tail at the bottom. Okay, looks a bit like a firefly. It's like a hammer, but a little thinner body. Okay, which could be a sign of retracement, reversal. Sometimes if it's been followed by a candle that looks like that, so we would know that there is uncertainty and there is a potential that the asset will bounce back. As I always say, that's not that's not a formula, so that means that it could go otherwise, and so on. So that's technical analysis, as it's written here, and fundamental analysis will be, let me give you an example here, reports, announcements, sorry, okay, what else, events, even articles, right? Okay, and all of those things can be found where? On the economic calendar, as an example, or on the news, right? Let me put your news as well. Okay, so if at the left hand side we have some, here is the signals, right? We saw that signals are only for some assets. Not all assets has signals. Let me also fold that down, right? Well, in this particular case, oh, you see, sometimes it has it, sometimes it doesn't. See, some indices, okay, some, I don't know, commodities, some of them has it. Anyway, the way that it works is I can click here on the globe icon, and then I'm going to go to economic calendar. There are a lot of interesting things here, analysis views, market buzz, and Forex features, ideas for technical analysis. But that's the best way to get fundamental analysis because you can practically search what you are looking for. So I can go here on Omeglify, and on my Omeglify I can put down okay, so the next non-farming payroll is on Friday. I think that's gonna, usually that's the first Friday of the month, but I suspect that this is exactly after the week ends. So I think that the first is landing on Friday, right? No, otherwise it would have been, sorry, that the first is on Saturday, right? Should be Saturday. And then the 7th is on Friday. So that makes it the first Friday of the month. This is every Friday, every new month, the first Friday of the month is called a non-farming payroll. Okay, the reason, as you can see here, the economic calendar is giving you some different segments. So it's giving you the importance. What will be the impact on the economy? Is that an important event? Is that an event that doesn't have that it's so significant? Okay, this is only when the result will occur. Otherwise, we have the forecast, what we think that could be the result, what has been before. So this is, let me see if I can quickly, never mind. Let's keep it this way. This is the previous, what happened last time. This is the forecast, what we expect to happen, and obviously when it happens, so the actual. Yeah, I can search, like I said, I can search what I want here on the search field, or I can categorize and select or deselect what I don't like. So for instance, if I click here on US, that's going to show me only US. If I add, where is England? Why can't I find UK? I'm basically blind. Oh, there we go. So it's gonna show me only, oh, I have to, there you go. You see, if I only mark a certain country, it's gonna show me only the country that I'm focused on, maybe Canada as an example, right? Yeah, so that doesn't show me Canada for some reason. Maybe there is nothing too soon for Canada. Let's go with France. Okay, so you see there are certain things. Yeah, so this is one way where obviously there is no defined way how to find your fundamental analysis. You can always search in Google and Bloomberg, see the news. I know there are some very good websites for that. I think Bloomberg is one of the most famous, and yeah. So I don't want to I don't want to recommend any specific place. Otherwise, if the analysis there is not too accurate, then people could complain. So I keep the right to just give you that. Bloomberg is an example. And yes, beside that, the economic calendar. Otherwise, you can just find it by yourself. This is an example about, this is not just fundamental analysis, this all kind of analysis. And the last questions that we have are, how can I get a senior account manager? This is very easy to answer. Go to the live chat and ask for Simon. Just on a nutshell. Oh, this is first of all, fund and activate your account. Okay, then go to the live chat, ask for assignment. Okay. Right. What a senior account manager is for. Who knows what a senior account manager is for? Oh, let me share with you the links. I almost forgot. Let me share with you the links here for people who still wants to see videos and other explanations. But I'm gonna paste it in the chat because I'm not sure how the question section is gonna help us deliver the links. Just gonna paste it here. This is for further questions in the help center. This is for a real account, whoever is still playing with the demo. This is for more videos and explanations, the beautiful academy. And recently we added the education center, which you can find additional videos and what I've explained in a little more thorough way. Lastly, I'm going to give you here the promotion code. This is what I've explained, so I don't think, maybe just on a nutshell. We'll see in a moment. We'll see. I just want to see the question here. Basics trading. Please help me understand. Look, the best way to start, I think we had it last week, the question. What's the best way to start? The best way to start. So what's the best? Let me just recompose that. What do you think that is the best way to start? Okay. So the first thing that I would do is I would think of an amount that I would like to deposit. With no money in the account, I can think till the end of the world. So first, deposit an amount you believe that is good. Okay, second thing is think of a market you would like to focus, right? Then when you have the asset, ask your senior account manager for a plan, unless you already have a plan. If you already have a plan, that's what's better than that, right? What do you guys think? What do you guys think when you have it? So what must you do? You think of an amount, right? You choose the market, you make a plan, and then what? You start practicing, right? Start learning how to trade. That's it. And the last one is practice, right? Practice to improve. Oh, maybe I should have. Okay. I hope that I can somehow, there we go. This is again, this is not a formula. What I'm putting down is just my personal opinion. This is what I would recommend for somebody to begin with. Okay, slowly and surely. Deposit an amount, think of a market you want to focus, ask your senior account manager for a plan or make a plan. Plan, start learning how to trade, practice until you are stable. You gain profits, right? That's, yeah, find the best strategy and so on and so on. Some people can say differently. Some people would say you begin with just start doing things and you'll understand on the way. Every way you'll choose to start with is okay. This is the way that I find most efficient. That's it. So guys, it's been a pleasure. I hope that there are no more questions because we've got no more time. I'm gonna give you here the special promotion code. I'm gonna paste it in the chat. You should give it to your senior account manager after you've activated the account to get the premium market review. And that's it. I wish you all best of luck. It's been a pleasure giving you the webinar today. I'm so sorry that all of the questions that I had to ignore, you saw by yourself that I had not a spare minute. And that's it. Make a lot of profits. Have a good day.